Transfer portal is about to open in a couple of weeks. And here are some of the needs that Auburn needs to potentially look at in the portal to be successful in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick Frazier, and welcome to Water Cooler Talk Sports. If this is your first time here at Water Cooler Talk, we appreciate you so much. Please like the video, share the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you so much. We're on our way this way. So we thank you so much. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching. Please like, share, comment on the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. And we thank you so much. Let's get into the topic, man. Auburn football is going into the 2026 offseason, looking to fill some holes. You have coaching turnover here, new head coach, Alex Golesh is coming in. You're starting to see the staff kind of fill out to what you're going to see on the field for next year for Auburn. Just had a recruiting class that come in. It wasn't a big class. Even with the previous coach there, it wasn't going to be a big class there then. But now you have to go into portal. You have to go backfill some of those positions. And I want to talk about the three positions that Auburn has to potentially look at going and backfilling and getting depth in so you could potentially be competitive next year. Number one, let's start with the first position. I think secondary. I think when you look at the secondary, I think secondary had its lapses this past season. You had a lot of guys that were getting beat on the back end. You had a lot of guys that were out of position most of the time. Yeah, you got a lot of great tacklers. Sylvester Smith come up and hit you. Caleb Harris will come up and hit you. Jay Crawford did what Jay Crawford does. Ken Lee did what he did, and things stuff like that. But you got to have that depth. Adding Rayshawn Pleasant in the portal last offseason was a great pickup for Auburn. He had 2 big interceptions in the Arkansas game. But having another guy or guys to where you can come in and potentially have a rotation of 5-6 guys that can play between those corner positions and that nickel position, as well as maybe adding another guy in the safety room back there would kind of shore up that back end for Auburn even more. I think having cover guys in the SEC and then just in college football in general is a premium. It's a premium. The way they pay guys in the NFL, you first go get the quarterback, and then either you go get the guy that's going to protect the quarterback or the guy that's going to rush the quarterback. And then after that, you either go pay the guy that's going to defend your best receiver, or you go pay the receiver that's going to catch the balls from the quarterback, excuse me. So having those type of guys, having those type of cover guys, having those type of guys that are big physical guys that can come in and be and plug and play guys that can come in and play in the defense on the back end is great. Picking up a Demonte Tab in this class was huge. A big guy, 6'3", 195, NFL frame, has to do some work on the back end. Had 11 interceptions in the season as a high school player. Still needs some work. Still need to develop a little bit and things stuff like that. But having those type of guys, having guys that can be prototypical type NFL guys that you can progressively put through your system and then send them to the league is something that will help you in recruiting all the way through your time here, not just at that position, but at every position on the team. So I think shoring up the back end and the secondary would be something that Auburn could potentially look at doing because, like I said, it's a premium to have a type of guy that can come down and cover, because you're looking at a Jay Crawford and he's coming into his junior year and he could potentially leave after this season. And now you have to go find that next guy that can come in and be him for you in the next couple of seasons. Go find that guy now. Let's train him up. Let's develop him. Let's get him ready to step into that role once Jay Crawford is gone. Same with Cam Lee. Same with Cam Lee. Eligibility is starting to come up for him as well. So you got to go find those guys that's going to replace those guys there as well. Position number 2, man. In college football, not just the SEC, but really in just college football, you have to have players in the trenches. Having players on the offensive and defensive line is where games are won. Having big people, strong guys on the offensive line that move people, and then having guys on the interior defensive line and edge rushers that can penetrate the opposing offensive line and get to the quarterback. Starting with Auburn's offensive line, I know going into the season last year, I was very high on Auburn's offensive line, especially the interior part. Having Connor Lew return, Jeremiah Wright, Dylan Wade, having those guys return for another season at Auburn. You looking at it and you saying, man, there is an opportunity for this offensive line to be very, very special. Then you go into the portal and you get an offensive tackle who was the highest rated offensive tackle in the portal. Did not allow, and Xavier Chaplin, he did not allow, I think he allowed less than 6-7 sacks while he was at Virginia Tech. Allowed less than 10 QB hurries while he was at Virginia Tech. But then come into Auburn and kind of have a regression of a season. Mason Murphy comes in. Mason Murphy will more than likely be gone next year. Then you see how the season progresses. Connor Lew gets hurt. You try to bring in Kel Ellis, the freshman who reclassified, and it went well for a game and a half. And then now you have to reshuffle the line, and you had to put Mason Murphy at center, bring Tutal back out there to where his natural position was at right tackle, and try to get that cohesiveness going. Now Jeremiah Wright is gone. Mason Murphy is gone. We don't know what's going to happen with Connor Lew. Will Connor Lew return? Xavier Miller, Tutal, he's gone. So now you have to rebuild this offensive line. What does Dylan Wade do? Dylan Wade more than likely is gone at the end of this. Is gone as well. So now that just leaves you with Xavier and Chaplin. Now you got a lot of young guys that have to step into that position of being the guys on the offensive line. There's a lot of talent there. You talking about a Ty Buster. You talking about a Favor Edwin. You talking about a Tyler Johnson, a Broderick Scholl, a 5-star, and DeAndre Carter. There are a lot of talented guys that are that are ready to step into their role. But as always, you have to have that depth on the offensive line as well, just in case what happened this year with your star center and Connor Lew, just in case that happens. Connor Lew could potentially come back, but does he decide to be like, I'm just gonna heal up and take my talents to the NFL next, take my talents to the next level, which is the NFL? Possibility he could do that. So shoring up that side of the line is important as well. And as always, you have to go find pass rushers and interior defensive linemen. With the way that DJ Durkin rotates on this offense, playing a lot of guys, Vontrell King Williams coaching up these guys on the defensive line, the way that they rotate and the way that they have so many bodies out there, you just have to go get it. It was great having a pickup of Dallas Walker IV. Great having him picked up in the portal last year, because he came into in a lot of games last year and he was able to contribute and make plays. It was great having young talent like Jordan Crawford and Malik Autry out there getting reps. It was great seeing Jared Smith on the edge rush the pass rusher, because now those guys are going to have to step into those roles and be those guys. Keldrick Faulk more than likely is gone. Keywan Crawford is gone. Chris Murray is gone. So now you're looking at those guys and you saying, all right, who's going to be the next one? Who's going to be that next guy that's going to be that next pass rusher, that next name that Auburn has? So potentially you may have to go into the portal and find some type of a solid pass rusher that can come in and be a contributor right now. And the one thing that we always learn is that we've learned so far in college football is even though you recruit a lot of young talent out of high school, there's always a lot of proven talent that's already played a lot of college football in the portal that's really good. So you can't really pass up on those type of guys. You can't pass up on those guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn potentially brings in 2, maybe 3 defensive linemen, just to come in and just have some type of depth and some type of presence, some type of veteran presence there, and potentially a guy that can come in and be a difference maker. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. But I think you have to continually bring in those guys, especially on the interior as well, too, because it's just so much banging and clanging that happens in the middle that you got to just be able to keep fresh bodies in there. So always trying to find guys in the trenches that will be able to contribute day in, day out, night out consistently, because injuries can happen there as well. So, yeah, man, the trenches, offensive line, defensive line is definitely where Auburn has to go and find some guys as well, too. And third and finally, quarterback. Quarterback is important. I know a lot of people love Deuce Knight. I know a lot of people want to see Deuce Knight in an Auburn uniform in meaningful games. A lot of people want to see him succeed at Auburn. We all want to see Deuce Knight succeed at Auburn. But the new coach is in, Alex Golesh. He has coached a guy on Byron Brown that was a 3,200-yard passer, 800-yard rusher 2 seasons ago. Last season in 2024, he did not finish the season because he got injured, but he was on track to do the exact same thing again. And then he comes back after injury in this season, and he throws for 3,100 yards and rushed for 1,000. I think he's one of only 6 quarterbacks to ever do that in college football history or something like that. I mean, when you look at that, man, I completely understand that you have Ashton Daniels, you have Deuce Knight in the portal. I mean, in the room already. But you have a guy like that, a proven guy, a guy that knows the system as well of what Alex Golesh wants to do. And there's a lot of chatter, a lot of chatter about him potentially entering the portal and making his way to Auburn. I think you cannot pass that up, man. You cannot pass it up. And I, in particular, to be completely honest with you, would not be mad at it. A proven guy, 1-year guy, more than likely is what he's going to be. A 1-year guy, you sit here and say, all right, man, you're the guy. You come in, you give us, you show recruits and you show everybody the proof of concept of what this offense can look like. You let Deuce Knight sit behind him, get a grasp of the offense, understand the offense, let him get some reps in some meaningful games every now and then during next season. And then once Byron Brown is out and you show proof of concept, you potentially can have Auburn in the playoff conversation or 8-9 wins next season. Then 27, Deuce Knight steps in, and we start to see the blossoming and the potential and the start at Deuce Knight, and that everybody says and sees in Deuce Knight is what it is. So, man, we got to go get a quarterback, man, because Auburn has not hit on quarterback in the past 4 or 5 years, man. When we go through it, man, you look at Jackson Arnold, man, who's had the worst luck in college football, in my opinion. You look at Peyton Thorne, who a lot of people dissed and did not like. You look at Robbie Ashford, who really didn't get a chance for real, if you want to be honest about it. I mean, we go back, man, Hank Brown, who had a game and a half. I mean, Holden Gerner, who was supposed to be the guy and did not get an opportunity at Auburn, honestly, for real. So we just have not had a solid quarterback at Auburn, really, since Bo Nix, to be completely honest with you. Really haven't had a guy since then. So I'm telling you, man, we have to hit on this position in order for Auburn to be successful in the 2026 season. So quarterback is definitely, I know it's number 3 here, but it's more than likely number 1 on my list, man. You have to go get a proven quarterback in the portal so that Auburn will be able to compete and be able to show proof of concept and just to create competition in that room as well, in the quarterback room. I'm excited, man. Transfer portal opens up January 2nd. We are literally about 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away from that opening up, and we'll be sitting here giving coverage every day that the portal is open and all the way up until it and then after it as well, man. So we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler. Just follow us right there on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Follow us at the Water Cooler Talk on TikTok and Instagram. And then, of course, subscribe here at Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We appreciate y'all so much. Y'all be easy, man. One love, man. Y'all be blessed.